The Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust organization got funding to collect data on alewife herring in the Concord River to evaluate the health of the water ecosystem. They're looking for volunteers to help count the fish. Jane Calvin, Executive Director, explains.
Behind me is Wamesit Falls on the Concord River, and this direction is a canal, and the Concord River actually flows north in this direction. I'm standing on Centennial Island on the southern tip of Centennial Island. At this location, we'll be relaunching our alewife restoration program. Alewife are a type of river herring. So the fish are coming from the sea. So this type of species is called anadromous. So they're coming from the ocean into our local rivers and to spawn. So they're coming here to basically lay their eggs, and then those fish will be marked with this river. They'll go back, when they're juveniles, they'll go back out to the ocean, but they're marked with this river, so they'll keep coming back. So a fish ladder is a way for a fish to get upstream over an obstacle. So behind me is Wamesit Falls, and that's a fairly small obstacle, but the fish still need to get up around it. So eels can get up over those falls, but something like a herring can't, and it needs to have a little bit of a controlled flow, so it kind of jumps up, literally steps in a ladder, but they're called baffles. And then right behind me at this location, we'll be having a video camera that will be monitoring the fish passage live, and we'll also have monitors that will come out and count the fish for 10 minutes every hour. These fish are a really important, it's really the food chain. So it's a simple, it's an indicator of the health of our ecosystem. So we could look at all kinds of indicators like dissolved oxygen, or we could look at turbidity. But when you look at an individual species like herring, it will reflect what's happening with larger species, larger fish like shad or bass. The bass love the herring, and bass are a really popular game fish. But herring are also a really important food source for a lot of really large fish out in the oceans. So it's really important to keep these riparian habitats very healthy for a whole range of species. So we actually started this program back in 2000, and we moved fish from the Nemasket watershed in Middleborough in hopes of reestablishing a population in the Concord here. And we know that it's been successful because in 2015 there were a lot of fish seen gathering at the base, a lot of herring seen gathering at the base of this fish ladder. And as soon as we adjusted the baffles, they all came upstream. So it takes several years to establish a population like that. And so I'm really excited because we'll be able to provide a whole nother set of data. There's folks on the Mystic River and the Ipswich and the Jones River that are collecting data. They're starting to collect data now. We get to collect data a little bit later in the season, so it's a little warmer. And but all of this data together adds a lot of knowledge to what's happening out at sea. On April 8th, we'll be hosting a field training right here with folks from the Fish and Wildlife Service and Division of Marine Fisheries in Massachusetts. And we'll be training people on how to identify the fish and how to count them and some of the safety protocols here.
People interested in observing the fish as part of the study can find out more at lowelllandtrust.org.